A very warm welcome to all the attendees. My name is Rashika and I'll be the moderator during this webinar. The topic for today's webinar is Cognitive Capabilities of Click. The presenters of today's webinar are Rebontika Nath, Business Analyst at Exponentia, and Vishav Bhatia, Pre-Sales Associate at Exponentia. A couple of instructions I'd like to share before we begin the session. All the participants will be kept on mute. However, we would like to keep it interactive, for which we'll have a poll in short intervals between the webinars, wherein a question will be displayed on your screen for about 30 to 40 seconds. Kindly submit your response within the stipulated time. We'll also have a Q&A session at the end. You may raise your question anytime during the webinar on the chat box available on your control panel. With this, I'd like to invite Rebontika to begin the webinar.
Yes, thank you so much, Rashika. Please confirm if my screen is visible.
No. Yeah, it is visible now.
No, it's visible, right? Okay, hello everyone. So today we'll start with a quick introduction about our organization. Yes, Exponentia is an AI tech company headquartered in Mumbai. We provide services to solve complex business problems with our industry-ready solutions across several data value chains. To mention, cloud service integration, business intelligence properties, customizable machine learning models, and artificial intelligence algorithms. We also enhance our customer engagement journey by utilizing cognitive capabilities of our solutions. In the era of automation, we extended our partnership with Automation Anywhere to channelize intelligent automation using bots. We have also introduced our product Engagely, which is a conversational bot platform available in multiple languages and has inbuilt strategic features of scalability, security, and intelligence. Currently, we are a team of 200 plus analytics professionals working together towards fulfilling our mission based on our core values of customer focus, excellence, integrity, and agility. We have also expanded our presence in other geographies in UK and Singapore. We celebrate our partnership with leading industry players. Here is a list of organizations who have been a part of our journey. It is quite evident that we have been associated with best of the best industry leaders, and we are fortunate to be a part of this experience. In the next section, we'll have a look at our value proposition. Our services can be broadly classified in these 5 categories: advisory services, augmented analytics, advanced analytics, data warehousing system, and automation. To start with our advisory services, it is focused at helping organizations to understand the value of data. We also help organizations to create data and BI strategy frameworks and guide them throughout implementation roadmap. Our accelerators for BI modernization is transforming businesses by creating portfolios embedded with advanced analytic solutions, and they work with highest level of optimization. When we come to advanced analytics phase, we also have our bespoke machine learning algorithms with the capabilities of predicting customer and employee churn in an organization. We also provide recommendations on cross-selling and upselling products. We have integrated all our customer-centric solutions in our customer intelligence platform, where all the services are readily available on a single platform. We also have a mobile platform OneTab that has made business intelligence reports readily accessible and available, and also get instant updates on just a click on your mobile devices. We have also built our data foundation for implementation of augmented analytics on top of several cloud and on-premise infrastructures. We have also created our data models and ready-to-use KPI banks subjected to domain-specific requirements. Our proposition on conversational analytics and process automation include conversational AI bots, and we aim to automate other repetitive businesses in a cost-effective manner. Next up is the highlight of today's event, that is cognitive capabilities of Click. Considering the spread of audience in today's event, we will start with a brief introduction of Click and then move to the main section. Qlik provides an end-to-end modern analytics platform which includes data integration, user-driven business intelligence, and conversational analytics. Qlik has achieved the position of leader for analytics and BI platform for the 10th year in a row at Gartner's Magic Quadrant. They have combined their unique associative and cognitive engine technology in their solution. In today's session, we will talk about some of such features and we'll show you how we can utilize the offerings for your current business. We'll start with Qlik Insight Generation. It is a search-based visual analytics tool. With this feature, we can automatically generate charts based on loaded or input data sources. When you have little to no knowledge about the data set you are currently working on, you can use this feature to explore important KPIs and bring in insights available in your dataset. Yes, Qlik does the primary data exploration job for you. Moving on to the next feature, we have Qlik Insight Advisor Chat. Qlik Insight Advisor Chat is a bright example of recent advancement of conversational analytics. Let us consider we are working on sales data and we want to know top 3 cities with maximum performance. You can just chat with Insight Advisor bot and type top 3 cities with highest sales. It will automatically provide you with the chart with top sales along with additional information like contribution of each city in your total sales, overall sales, and so on. Next up is automatic associations. Qlik Automatic Associations feature is extremely helpful when you are working with multiple data sources. When all the data is loaded in Qlik Sense, it automatically generates suggestions or possible associations among datasets. In case you are working with huge datasets and you have multiple datasets with you, we do not need to worry much about the primary keys or other joining keys for the datasets. Qlik does this job for you also. Next up is integration of ML capabilities in Qlik Sense. As we know, we had to use Qlik server-side extension to implement any machine learning models in Qlik Sense. Qlik has added this amazing feature in its latest release to use K-means clustering algorithm directly without using any server-side extensions. K-means is a very important concept for unsupervised machine learning. The ability to use it directly helps us handle huge data and easily figure out alike or similar patterns in it. In today's demonstration, we will show you how you can use these features for your current requirements. Before jumping to the demonstration part, we have a quick poll coming up for you.
Hi everyone, this is Vishav Hadia, and let me summarize you what all new features and cognitive capabilities of Qlik Sense we are going to demonstrate today. So, as you all know, this is a hub where we usually choose the app which we would like to analyze for insights. But now we have some other features available in the hub itself. These are the analyze the charts, important charts and trends in the hub. We can add links for our website and for our mashups over there, and ask Insight Advisor, the most and excellent feature of Qlik Sense September 2020. So now I will just demonstrate these features in brief, then I will move on to the Ask Insight Advisor in detail. So when I click over there in the charts, so now you can see these are the charts. We can view the charts and we can analyze like last related, added, and we can see the important trends what's going on in the chart itself. And if we want to analyze these charts more, then I can click over there and I can go to the directly in the app and I can analyze in more by using slice and dice, by using selections. Similarly, in here we can add the links for our websites, for our mashup. So I have added a link over there. Now when I click on the link, then it will take to my customer intelligence tool. So in the customer intelligence tool, you can see like this will give us the all the intelligence about our customers. So let me go back to my hub. Okay, so Ask Insight Advisor. Now I will show you the interface of feature where you can converse with your data. This is possible in Ask Insight Advisor chat in hub itself. When I will click on this Ask Insight Advisor, this pop-up will come up on our screen. So the first question comes out in our mind is, what is Insight Advisor chat and how does it work? So this is a new feature recently added by Qlik in hub. Insight Advisor chat provides features that process natural language which understand the intent of the user and deliver insight in the form of charts and visualizations. With charts and visualizations, it also gives the narratives, observations, and what dimensions and measures it has considered while creating the charts. So now I will choose the app from which I would like to generate insights or create charts by using Insight Advisor feature. So let me click on the app. So it will give us all the app available here. So let me click on the one of the app. So this is an application which has been created by taking data from logistics and supply chain industry. So now you can see all the measures available in this app are here. Okay, so let's ask Insight Advisor some questions and see what it gives to us. So let's start with some basic questions like sales across cities. So now you can see here. So it gives us the three like one chart and two other pop-ups. So now we can see here sales across city. This box will give us the fields and measures which it has considered while creating these charts. So it has considered the field city and the master measure as the sales for creation of this chart. And now it has given us the map. So this map tells us about the location of the cities and city-wise sales which has been done in the cities. And the third, this is the insights. So the total sales is 1.7 million. So we can see, we can ask some other questions to see how it like what it generates for us. So let us ask the other question is city wise rate charges. So now you can see here, this is the question which I asked city wise freight charges. So in the similar way, it has given us the fields and measures which it has considered for creation of this chart. So and on the other hand, it also gives us this chart. So on this chart, you can see on the y-axis it has considered the city. On the x-axis it has considered the freight charges. Now we can clearly see the freight charges of London, Cork, all this Mexico City. What is the freight charges city-wise? Now, one of the best feature of this Insight Advisor chat, it also gives us the deep insights. If we want to get these insights in our app, like manually or by using the expression, then we have to write a large number of expressions for this. But right now, if you can see here, the total freight, the sum of total freight charges is 109.7k. The top city by freight was London, which is 7.2% of total. The top city we can even analyze from the chart, but its percentage across the overall cities we can't analyze from this chart itself. It has given its in insights. So it is 10.2% of the total, and the 79% of freight was coming from the top 26 cities. So similarly, we can analyze how many freight charges are coming from the are incurred on the cities, but it doesn't gives like this type of insights. Like 79.8% of freight charges were from the top 26 cities selected. So in this way, it gives us the very deep insights which will be helpful for business users to take decision wisely. So the other question, we can ask some other questions in the generic language, or we can use some logical operators here. So let's see how Insight Advisor take it and gives us the what type of visualization or charts with that. So let me ask other question. Show cities where freight charges greater than 7k. So let's see how it taken as like this logical operator greater than 7k. So let me just generate insight. So now you can see the like in a very efficient and fast way, it has given us the cities, two cities which are generating a rate greater than 7,000. These are the Cork and London. So now we can even verify it from the chart also. Like London and Cork are the two cities where the freight charges are greater than 7,000, apart as if other cities have freight charges less than 7,000. So now further, if I wanted to explore this feature, I can click on this link that you can see here. This link. If I wanted to explore this chart furthermore, so I can click on this link, and you can see here what will happen after click on this link. Now you can see like the question which I have asked over there will be coming in this box automatically. So now my question has been brought into our search-based visualization capability, and this question allows me to see other additional results that could be my analysis. Like if you see here, it also gives us that chart which I have seen over there. Apart from that, it also gives me other visualization that could be my analysis, and now I can perform any selections like we have, like by clicking on this chart, so I can do the drill down and all these options like selection, create selections, so all these things. Apart from that, I was adding data normally as we do in our app, like we can make change in dimensions and measures, such as I don't want to go for freight charges, I would like to see for something else with some other measures like cost of supply. So I will just change the measure here, and now we can see like it gives us the city wise cost of supply. So furthermore, if you want to analyze or if you want to add this chart, we can add it from here. We can create a new sheets and we can add it in our app. So now let me tell you how to access app in Insight Advisor Chat. As you have seen in Hub, when I click on the app, so all these apps are available, but not all the apps are available. So how we can get our required app from where we want to generate these insights. So let me show you how to make an app available to start asking questions directly with this interface, or we can say in the Hub itself. So I'll just go in the app. I'll go in the settings. Now you can see here, there's a option here, enable Insight in app. So we can just turn it on and off as per requirement. So when we just turn it, then this will tell us the Insight Advisor to consider this app for generating insight in the catalog. So the next feature that I would like to show is the new business logic feature. Let me just close it. Okay, so first of all, let me define what are business logics. So business logics enables you to customize how Insight Advisor interprets your data, your app data, when generating insights from queries or asking questions. So what it will do, it will attempt, I'll just show you the overview. Okay. This is an overview of business logic interface. This is an UI part of business logic interface. So what it will do, it will attempt to classify, organize and set the properties of various fields like dimensions, measures, and then we have the opportunity to change its properties to basically make Insight Advisor more smarter, or to create smarter conversational analytics. So let me tell you how we can access business logic from our app. So you can see here there is a prepare option here. So when we click on the prepare, so there's a drop down will come up. So in this drop down, we have a lot of options like data manager, data load editor, data model viewer. Now we can see there's a new option feature available here is logical model. So when we click on this logical model, it will take you on the business logic user interface. So now I will give you the overview of this business logic interface. So what it will tells us, like what all fields are available of fields and dimension when we loaded our data. So what all fields are available, how many groups we have created earlier are available, what our hierarchies are available, what our behavior and packages are available in this. It gives an overview of this interface. So let me go to the one by one all these like fields and groups, packages, hierarchies and behavior. Let me tell you about this. So I will tell you just I don't go in detail, but I will tell you about this, what is packages, hierarchies and behavior. Then I will go in detail in fields and groups. So in packages are the collection of groups, like all the groups we are going to create here, how these groups are associated to each other, how these groups shows relationship with each other. So hierarchies is the similar way we create drill down in our dashboards. So like this drill down option, we can create hierarchies and then we can ask questions based on those hierarchies in Insight Advisor. So it can give us the charts with the capability of drill down. So now let me come back to the field and group. The main element of business logics are field, master items and groups. This is the main element. So let me so when we go inside the field and groups, this is the main element of business logics, where fields, master items and groups together using distinct types of classification like calendars, dimensions, measures, and some of the other classifications are here, address, boolean, to represent the relationship. And as you start to adjust these properties, all these properties, Insight Advisor will take this information into consideration when performing searches and asking questions. So for a time being, I've created the groups and you can see all the different fields that are available in the groups. So these are the fields are part of my data model when I have loaded my data. So let me tell you like how it works, then it will make more sense. So I have created one of the group. Let me go to that group. Let me demonstrate. So this is a group. This is group for Feb 2020 sales data. So in this group, I have added like all the information for the February 2020. So it will give us like address, category name, what all brands are available, what is the cost of supply, how many quantities are ordered, who all the customers are there. So all the fields like city-wise and country-wise customers, all the fields are there. So let me do the function, tell you the functionality of all the options are available in here, and let me tell you how we can control the insights from the insight generation, how we can control the insights by changing these properties. So let me do a setup for that. I will just go in the insights. Now you can see here visibility. So if you can see here, this F 2020 address, February 20 address for the customers, the visibility is hidden. So we can all these fields. Now we can see all these fields. So we can control which fields we would like to show here. So if I will search here F20 address, so it's not visible here. But if I will change its visibility from hidden to visible, now it's loading. It's going to change on the in our data model. So now I have just changed it. Now it's visible. So you can see the cognitive capabilities when we just reload it, and when we'll ask this F2020 address again in the field, when we search this field again, let us see whether it's available or not. Now I have changed it to visible, so it should be available. So now let's see what will happen. So if you can see, the first field comes itself as a F20 address. Earlier it was not available here. So now we can just control which fields we would like to show here and which fields we don't want to show here. So the next option is classification. So this classification is the one of the best option which can change the behavior of the charts coming from the Insight Advisor. So now if you can see here F20 city and country, if I will change these to their classification as a dimension, it's loading actually. So now you can see the classification of cities has been changed from city to dimension. Similarly, we are going to change the classification of country from country to dimension. And now we will ask Insight Advisor to generate charts on these two fields. Okay, let me go back and let me just refresh, so that all the changes which I have made over there should reflect here. Now you can see the classification of F20 city is dimension and classification of 20 country is dimension. So let me just ask Insight Advisor to generate charts on F20 city and country. Now you can see it has given us the lot of charts like table, this tree map, then some of the other charts like bar charts by taking some other dimensions. But what actually we are expecting from it should give us is when we taken city and country, so we are expecting something like map or something which shows us longitudinal and latitudinal visualizations. So how we can control so that it can give us the something like that. So let us see. So we can control by just changing the classification from dimension to city, and similarly we are going to change the classification from for this country from dimension to country. Now I'm going to change this also from country. Okay. Now I will just refresh it and ask again to generate insights on the basis of these two fields. F20 city and F20 country. Now let's see what it gives to us. So now you can see earlier the table was the first chart it was creating for us, but now the first chart it's creating for us is the map. So this is the perfect representation of these two types of fields. So in this way we can control the behavior, or we can control this generate insights feature in the ClickSense as per our requirements. So let me just give you overview of other features over there. So if you let me tell you about this default aggregation. So let me choose one of the measure. So this is the F20 cost of supply for February 2020. So right now default aggregation is sum. So if I will choose here F20 cost of supply, and I will just remove this F20 and this one country, and I will choose F20 cost of supply and enter for generating insights. So now you can see all the charts and all the KPIs which are coming, it is taking as a sum. So now cost of supply will come as a function of sum. Similar way, the sum in the bar chart, in the distribution, everywhere it's taken cost of supply as a sum. Now if I will change it, like I would like to get the maximum for the cost of supply, minimum or average. Now I can change it to max. So I will just ask the same question again in the insight generation, and let's see what it gives to us. Now you can see I have changed it from sum to max. So I will just ask the same question. I'll read this and ask it again. So now we can see earlier it was giving us sum, now it is giving us the maximum. So maximum for cost of supply for the Feb 2020 is 32.16k, and it's also giving us the maximum for the in the bar chart, in the other like map, for all the charts. So in this way we can control the behavior of this insight generation. So now this insight advisor chart and this business logics, why we what are the use for this, why do we need. So, and the answer for this is analytical users want to do more with their data but often struggle with where to look or what next steps to take. So Insight Advisor gives these users a complete and powerful AI assistant built directly into the ClickSense to help and guide them along every step of their data exploration and analysis journey. So like I'll just so next what we can do, we can add these charts or these features, these visualization in our sheet, and then do our analysis on these charts. So the next feature I would like to talk about is K-means clustering. So this is an advanced analytics feature we can perform on the front end. It's a machine learning algorithm which is available in the default ClickSense engine library. Just let me go to that sheet. So just to make sure we all are on the same page, let me tell you what K-means clustering is. K-means clustering is a type of unsupervised learning using machine learning when you have unlabeled data. That's because the goal of this algorithm is to locate groups within your data. So so we can say, what is the use of K-means? Currently, K-means clustering can be most often found in marketing departments, where it helps segments customer into different groups based on purchase history, interest, activity monitoring, etc. Also, it is often used to classify clusters of documents based on commonly used terms, tags, content, and so on. So let me tell you how K-means clustering works in ClickSense without writing any code in Python or without using any server-side extension. Okay. So let me just give you a brief introduction about this app here. So what we are doing here, we are just running the marketing campaign of our services by posting post on LinkedIn. So you can see all these bubbles. These bubbles represent the posts regarding our services on LinkedIn. So the y-axis shows the count of likes, and the x-axis shows the count of views on these posts. So what K-means clustering will do, let me just set it to 1. So now we can see here, these are the bubbles. We can see here, these are the bubbles. So now we can see these bubbles get most likes and most views. These get very few likes, but we can create a segment, so clusters, like which bubbles is similar to like which post comes under one cluster or one segment. So what we can do, we have created a variable here, so this will tell us how many clusters we have to create. So when we just like move the slider from 1 to 2, now you can see there are 2 clusters, and if I would like more clusters, I will move the slider from 1 2 to 3. Now we can see there are 3 clusters. So these 3 clusters, it gives us like the third cluster, which has 5 posts. This 5 post has large count of likes and views. So all the services which we are doing posting on this post are very much likely likable by customers, and they're looking at these services. Similarly, these services in the second cluster, there are 26 posts, and we can say they're like these are the intermediate in the likes and views. So in this way, we can say these are services which are like, but not as compared to the third cluster. And there's a third cluster which is blue. In this there are 18 posts. So in this cluster, we can see these are not like there are not many likes on these posts, and there are not many views. So it might possible that these are services which are not getting much attention from the customers, or you customers to whom we want to target. So this tells us like whether we are spending in this marketing campaigns for these services, whether we have to do it or not, because we are doing spending much, but these are not getting us many of the leads. So in the way similar, we can create more clusters. So as we move on, the clusters will be increasing. So I'll just tell you the other chart here. This will give us the centroid of the cluster. So we can see here there are 3 clusters, so it will give us the centroid of the clusters. So let me tell you how we can create these charts. So it's very easy to create these charts. We don't need to write any Python script or any code. We can just use a k-mean function which is available inside ClickSense engine. Now we can like take this issue or post, then we can put a measure by the count of views or likes, and in the appearance, in the color option, we can go and we can choose k-means function, and we can give the number of clusters. These are variables, how many clusters we would like. So 2, 3, 4, and sum of like and sum of views. Now we can also do k-means cluster. So we have other functions like k-means centroid, which I have shown you earlier in the chart in the left hand side. So we can also have a k-means centroid and your k-means ND. So right now k-means 2D is what it takes only 2 dimensions, 2 fields. K-means ND is the most useful function, as it gives us clusters based on the more than 2 dimensions, which is very difficult to create clusters more than 2 dimensions manually or by using expressions. So for that we need a machine learning and augmenting capabilities, which is available in ClickSense. Now I will move on to the other latest features of the ClickSense. Let me go to the sheet. Let me just reload the app. Now you can see reference line improvements. So I will tell you what is reference lines. A reference line is a line intersecting the chart area from a given point or measure axis. So the reference lines we can take as a target as a reference lines. So last 3 months sales as a reference lines and compare it with the current month. But now what we have seen here, the ClickSense has added a new dimensional reference lines. So these dimensional reference lines support both continuous and discrete axes. So it is possible to enter text values for the discrete dimensional axis and numerical value of expression for continuous axis. And we can show the dimensions line, the bar chart, line chart, and all other charts. So even on a time axis, it is possible to enter an expression that gives the time-based result like a date or month. So right now what we have done here, we have just added reference lines on this dimension, and it is shown that on 15 Feb 2017 we have launched a product A, and on this dimension we have added the other product launch of product B, and some other features in this dimension line. let me tell you how we can use or add these dimensional reference lines. So for that we have to go in the add-ons. We can click on the dimensional reference lines and we can add it here. We can just write the conditions. If we want to show any conditions, we can give the dimension value, and we can also align these dimension lines. Let's say in the start, so the dimension will comes to the start, center, or end. So the next feature I would like to talk about is animator. So what does animator do? Let me just play and tell you what does animator do. So the animator animates the changes in values in your visualization over a range of value or a period. For example, you could view your changes in your visualization over a period of time. The animator adds a button and progress slider to the sheet. When pressed the button, animator cycles through the value of its dimension, and user can use the slider to manually pick. We can use this slider to manually pick values from the dimensions to display. So now when we have to use the animator, so animator is useful when you want to see your visualization change over a specified range, such as over a period of time. For example, you could use the animator to view how visualization in your sheet change month to month over a period of year. Animator can be used to animate dimension values. You can even, for example, animate how your sales visualization change city to city by selecting a dimension containing city value. So now similarly we have created charts and use animator to show the top customers or day to day. So with the help of animators, we can see the number of days and the top customers by taking the sales value as a measure. So now we can see the top total customers are these, the top customers after 56 days are these, and this is the sales value. So now let me stop the animator and move forward to other feature. So the other feature is spark lines. So Qlik has added the spark lines. Earlier, what we do with table is we can add our dimensions, and we can represent the measure with the text, or with like circles or something like a triangle and these figures. But right now what we can do, we can create a mini charts in the table itself. Let me tell you how we can create mini charts. It's very easy. We just need to go to data, and we can show here. We can add our measure here. In the representation, we can represent this measure as text, like in the numerical value, the indicator, and the mini chart. So mini chart, we have to choose the mini chart. So in the mini chart, we have to give the dimension. So here we have given the dimension month. So it gives the this chart is over the month. Like this chart is based on the sales over the month. So this chart gives us the line with min and maximum value. So now when I will hover on this chart, it gives the what is the maximum value over the months and what is the minimum value. So earlier what we have to do, if we want to analyze one of the products, we have to create a bar chart for all the products. That looks very clumsy, and then we have to select that one of the products, and then we have to do analysis for that product. But right now what we are getting here, it gives us an overview of all the products in a single table, in a single preview. We don't need to do any selections or anything, and we can get a line trend. We can even get a dots. We can even get a positive and negative trends, like how it's moving, whether the sales was decreasing mode or increasing mode. So the next feature is state tables. So in the state tables, what they have done, like highlight row on hover. Earlier, but here when we represent the tables, we can you have to tell, like, please go on the this third row, or you please go on this Berlin or Germany. But right now I will just put my cursor over there, and the viewer will understand like on which rows I'm talking about. So now you can see here. So it's available on the table, and it's available on the pivot table also. So I will tell you how we can work with that. So just go to the appearance, the presentation. Now you can just row hover color, row hover font. We can choose the color and font. We can just change the color as per requirement. Now you can see the color has been changed. Okay. So these all are the most of the capabilities of Qlik Sense, which makes our life easier in analysis. So let me give you one more feature in measures. Like we can just Let me open the measure. Now we can format the number, like the output which comes out from the measure. We can format the number. Earlier, what we have to do, we have to write an expression and we have to give in the expression itself, like it should be a percentage, it should be of the point or whatever the format of the number. But right now we can choose. Click has added this feature right now. Now we can choose the number in the measure itself. What is the format of number, like money format, date format, duration format, or we can even choose custom and other measure options. We can even show the percentage. So with this, I'll conclude this demo and I will hand over to Rashika. Rashika, over to you.
Thank you, Visha. Now is the time for the next poll question. Thank you for your responses. The floor is now open for Q&A session.